Now.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. In Iraq, the number of U.S. troops killed has topped 4,000. On Sunday, a homemade bomb killed 4 U.S. troops as they patrolled southern Baghdad. Meanwhile, at least 58 Iraqis died Sunday, including 13 who were killed when the heavily fortified Green Zone was shelled by mortars. The shelling has been described as one of the fiercest and most sustained attacks on the U.S.-controlled zone in the last year. In the northern Iraqi city of Mosul, 12 Iraqi soldiers died when a suicide truck bomber attacked their army garrison. 4 other Iraqi soldiers died in a roadside bomb in the Hamim Mountains. Meanwhile, the Sunday Mirror of London reports the U.S. plans to urge Britain to launch a surge in Basra to combat increasing violence in the southern Iraqi region. Britain handed control of Basra to Iraqi forces in December, but it could now be asked to step up its role again. The former Chilean ambassador to the United Nations has revealed new details on how the Bush administration pressured its allies to support the 2003 invasion of Iraq. According to Geraldo Munoz, the U.S. threatened trade reprisals against friendly countries who withheld their support, spied on its allies, and pressed for the recall of UN envoys that resisted U.S. pressure to endorse the war. Munoz says the diplomatic strategy has generated lasting bitterness and deep mistrust in Washington's relations with allies in Latin America and Europe. Munoz says Bush personally prodded the leaders of 6 nations in the UN Security Council: Angola, Cameroon, Chile, Guinea, Mexico, and Pakistan. When Chile tried to broker a compromise to delay military action, then U.S. Ambassador John Negroponte and then Secretary of State Colin Powell moved quickly to quash the initiative. President Bush has been accused of directly lying to the Iranian people about Iran's nuclear ambitions. In an interview on Thursday, Bush said, quote, "They've declared they want to have a nuclear weapon to destroy people, some in the Middle East." The interview aired on the U.S. government-funded Radio Farda, which broadcasts into Iran in Farsi. Bush's comment directly contradicts the judgments of the National Intelligence Estimate. Several foreign policy analysts accuse Bush of distorting the truth. Joseph Siricone of the Plowshares Fund said, quote, "Iran has never said it wanted a nuclear weapon for any reason. It's just not true." Former State Department official Suzanne Maloney said, quote, "The Iranian government is on the record across the board as saying it does not want a nuclear weapon." Meanwhile, the U.S. Treasury Department has called on international financial institutions to steer clear of doing business with almost all Iranian banks. The Financial Times describes the move as the Bush administration's most wide-ranging attempt yet to isolate Tehran financially. In other news from the Middle East, Vice President Dick Cheney has accused Hamas of trying to torpedo peace between the Palestinians and Israel. Cheney's comments came during his visit to Jerusalem. On Sunday, Cheney said, quote, "As we continue to work for peace, we must not and will not ignore the darkening shadows of the situations in Gaza, in Lebanon, in Syria, and in Iran." Cheney vowed to fully support Israel.
America's commitment to Israel's security is enduring and unshakable, as is our commitment to Israel's right to defend itself always against terrorism, rocket attacks, and other threats from forces dedicated to Israel's destruction. The United States will never pressure Israel to take steps that threaten its security.
In campaign news, New Mexico Governor and former presidential candidate Bill Richardson has officially endorsed Senator Barack Obama for president. Richardson's endorsement surprised some since he was a longtime friend to the Clintons and served in 2 senior positions in Bill Clinton's administration. At an Obama campaign rally in Portland, Oregon, Richardson said Obama's candidacy is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for our nation.
I think Senator Obama, I decided on this endorsement because I think he's something special that the country needs right now, somebody that can bring the country together. Something very good about this man. And it was just reinforced to do the endorsement by his speech on race, where he could have just said, "I'm going to give a safe speech in response to what his pastor had said." But instead, he faced the issue head on and talked about unity and talked about the need to eliminate stereotypes. It just reinforced my decision.
Meanwhile, Republican Senator Arlen Specter has called on the Justice Department to investigate the improper breach of confidential passport files of presidential candidates John McCain, Hillary Clinton, and Barack Obama. The State Department has admitted the breach involved contractors from two private companies, Stanley Incorporated and the Analysis Corporation, which is known as TAC or TAC. TAC CEO John Brennan is a former CIA